Hey everybody, it's me, Julz Chan again, and welcome to another installment of Julz Chan's Comic Corner. Today we're going to be looking at two comics today, two from Marvel, one from DC. Let's get started. First, we'll start off with Spider-Man 2099, issue number 2. There is some action at the start of the comic, leveled out with some humor as expected by any Spider-Man comic. After the fight scene, from then on there, it's character interaction, but good character interaction. While not all that exciting, it could lead into some future storytelling opportunities and character development. But the real meat of this issue is that Miguel's secret identity as Spider-Man was nearly revealed and is pretty much a close call. His boss Liz was more than determined to find out Spider-Man 2099's identity and was quite impressive by how she deduced Miguel's fake identity. While Liz found out a lot of things, she didn't find out everything. However, it still puts Miguel in a very tight situation. Scandalous. Not the most action-packed or exciting issue, but held up pretty good, leaving Miguel in a very interesting situation moving forward with his supporting cast. I give Spider-Man 2099 issue number 2 a 3.8 out of 5. Next, we move on to Amazing X-Men issue number 10. Okay, to be honest, this is a good issue. The Wendigo epidemic is in full force. The X-Men, the Avengers, and even Alpha Flight are doing everything they can to keep the situation contained and fend off these monsters. There's some explanation as to how the Wendigo outbreak was started, and the action is very engaging. What I love about the artwork is that the colors and the character designs don't make them look too cartoonish. And in terms of character development, Firestar gets some character development with Aurora guiding her in helping to cauterize a wound. And of course, in this somewhat gratuitous moment, it's leveled out with a little bit of humor here and there. The only thing that is rather irksome in this comic is how Northstar is written, especially considering that he's the one starting off the internal narration. Yes, he's been cocky and self-centered in the past, as most speedsters are. However, it was never this annoying, and he actually got better after he became a teacher at the Xavier School. It's just pretty much against his character. The whole beneath me attitude, or the whole I was never one for kids thing, is really odd for this character, and especially considering that if he didn't like kids, then why is he teaching kids? Heck, even Alpha Flight seemed a bit off. Does the writer have a beef with Canadians, especially considering that this pandemic takes place in Canada? But if you can get past that, it's a very solid issue. Possibly all of this will amount to character development, rather unnecessary character development for Northstar, as it seemed to work in this issue. Amazing X-Men issue number 10 gets a 4 out of 5. Now let's move away from Marvel and go to DC. And happy day, it's Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman issue number 1 by the talented Gail Simone. Batman and his compatriots have been put out of commission, and because of this, Oracle, yes, Barbara Gordon Oracle, calls upon an old, longtime friend of Bruce Wayne to watch over Gotham City and defend it from an alliance of the Dark Knight's villains. Gotham's new protector is Wonder Woman. A thing to note about this comic is that, like with the Adventures of Superman, it's completely out of continuity with the main DC universe, leaving many possibilities for stories. But in this case, the great Gail Simone has chosen to rely on the pre-New 52 version of Wonder Woman and the Amazons. Like with Batgirl, Gail Simone has always excelled with writing female characters like Wonder Woman, especially Wonder Woman. Here Simone writes Diana as she is, an Amazon warrior ready to do what is needed to be done and fight for what's right, but never seeming rash or impulsive like her present-day New 52 incarnation, especially while she's fighting. And it's so good to see Wonder Woman back in the gold, red, white, and blue. Just goes to show you can't beat the classics. Ethan Van Sciver, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, art does have a degree of detail, there's no doubt about it. However, his anatomy and poses can sometimes come off as awkward in a few places, but the action sequences are too well done to notice such a thing on the first read-through. What readers will notice most likely is that Wonder Woman's fighting style and tactics are pretty much similar to Batman's, most notably with the Wonder Woman style batarangs. Now, if there is a major flaw in this comic, however, if there is ever a downside, is that while it is interesting to see Wonder Woman encounter unfamiliar enemies in a new surrounding, it's not exactly the best introduction to Wonder Woman, as this series was promised to be like an anthology series. It feels more like a Batman story, but with Wonder Woman and the Amazons instead protecting Gotham. That is pretty much the legitimate concern. If you wanted to learn more about Wonder Woman, then this is not the book to do it in, possibly, unless Gail Simone has a different direction for this and will include more backstory and history on Wonder Woman. Overall, it's still an entertaining read, but it would be more proper to make the focus of the story Wonder Woman herself, the Amazons, her supporting cast, her history, and the proper setting to introduce someone into the world of Wonder Woman and not put them in Gotham. I give Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman issue number 1 a 3.5 out of 5. Alright guys, that's all the time I have. Please comment, please subscribe, tell me what you thought of the issue, let's discuss it, and I will see you later.